Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, Head Currency Analyst. In this video we're going to be breaking down a few charts of interest and key levels that we're going to be watching this week on those particular markets. Now the first thing I like to do is start off with the heat map, or the strength and weakness chart. And what's interesting to see from the strength and weakness chart is that the safe haven currencies are gaining some value. So we've got the dollar here, the Swiss franc, and the yen. They're all showing signs that they are gaining value, which typically is suggesting to us that risk off could be the sentiment driver going into next week, because we also have risk currencies such as the Canadian dollar. If you can see that, I'll have to put it over on this side. The Canadian dollar, Kiwi dollar. Aussie hasn't really moved that much, but those risk currencies are starting to lose value as well. So maybe we're going to see a little bit of risk off going into next week, with the dollar gaining some value, some Swiss franc and some yen gaining some value against some weaker currencies. Now pound weakness is a focus for us. It looks like it is going to continue to get weaker. It's lost quite a bit of value. It's one of the only trending charts. So we're going to be looking at pound US dollar in particular, pound yen as well. But pound is the sort of weaker currency that we're looking for, and maybe some weakness in the Canadian dollar as well. So jumping into the charts, we've got the dollar index here. We can see that price is pushing to the upside. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with this week due to what happened. Essentially, lots of sellers involved, lots of buyers involved. Market's still pretty much in those ranging environments. We need to see a bit of trend coming out of the dollar index. If we do get that break of a high, maybe price looks likely to test these swing lows through here, which could create a bit of a trending market on our major currency pairs. The only major currency pair really in a trend is pound, and we can see that the market is forming lower lows, lower highs, currently testing the key structure lows. So if price does break through, we're looking for the exact same thing again, a pullback, continuation down into the next sort of structure lows through there on pound. We may get a rally from here, but this is obviously going to depend what happens with the US dollar. If the market does rally, then we could still look for that short from the highs, or if it breaks through, then we're looking for longs. But at the moment, everything points for a downtrend. Strength and weakness suggesting this is going to continue to break out to the downside. So I'm going to be watching those short positions on pound US dollar. Euro US dollar, in a ranging market, nothing to do here. Same with Aussie. Aussie I quite like in terms of, if we do start seeing that risk off sentiment, we could see a breakout of this little range we've got in here with a breakout to the downside. So that's something to keep an eye on. But obviously price hasn't really retested those lows just yet. So I'm waiting a little bit longer to see what happens at those key structure lows through there. Kiwi, again, very much in a little short-term range at the moment between these 2 points. Is the market going to break to the downside now? Again, this is all going to be determined from that risk-off sentiment. So if we do get a break to the downside, start looking for short opportunities there. CAD's obviously a little bit weaker. I quite like dollar CAD long, because if we look at this weekly time frame, prices quite clearly in that pullback phase. Could it retest these previous weekly lows through here? If so, we could be looking for those trending environments again. So even if we just look at the 4-hour time frame, we can see price did a double bottom, broke. We kind of remained in that sort of flag sort of pattern. We break to the upside, we retest the highs, break into the upside again. So if we start seeing a bit more trend out of this market on the 4-hour, we could look for those buying opportunities through there. One chart of interest that I do really like the look of is Euro Pound. And we spoke about Euro Pound a while ago, and it was on our radar for some long opportunities. Now, I've already marked out a little bit about what I want to do here, but I'll just go break that down again. So if we go into that daily time frame, we can quite clearly see that price is making higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so you can clearly see we're making that sort of higher low there, making some higher lows through here, and now made a bit of a higher low there as well, and a higher high there. So the market is quite clearly trending to the upside. Now when it does trend to the upside, we look for areas of resistance, and you can quite clearly see here the market found some support in the past. So that leads to me saying that price is likely to come and retest this area once again. Market is pushing to the upside. Next step for us is to dive into that 4-hour time frame. Is there a clear trend? Yes, there is. We can see again, market is making those higher highs, higher lows. It's pulled back, it's retested structure, it's rallying to the upside. Is that going to happen again? Are we going to pull back, retest this structure highs through here, then continue to the upside? So what I did was I pointed out this zone in particular with the candlestick highs and the bodies as a buy-in area for us. Now that's going to remain until the lows are broken, which is currently through here. So as long as price remains above this swing low through there, then I'm going to be looking for buying opportunities on euro pound up into this key area of resistance we found on that higher time frame. So euro pound looking pretty good. Another chart I quite like as well, which looks very similar, is gold. So gold was one that I pointed out to have a little look at the sort of end of the Forex market wrap video, and it looks to me like maybe price is starting to find some buyers already, but we can clearly see that the market is in a bit of a range here, but we had a bit of a breakout closing above that previous high. The market's now pulled back. It looks to be on its way again, but I do quite like the idea of buying gold if we can get another retest of this previous structure high. If we don't get another retest, then I'm not going to look to trade it immediately. I'll look for another break and retest of another key zone, so maybe this swing high through here. But I do quite like the idea of some gold buying now, especially with this buy zone down through here. And like I said, if the market can pull back down, maybe double bottom or anything like that, that'd be a good sign that we could start looking for some buyers to come back in through here. Okay, so keep an eye on gold. Could be one to watch going into the week ahead. That also leads us to kind of looking for a bit of downside maybe to the stock markets because of that risk off sentiment. So if we look at the Dow, for instance, down the 4 hour, very much pushing down. Weekly was a bearish close. Are we going to start seeing that daily trend to the downside now? What we're going to have to see, we don't have daily downtrend yet because we need a lower low to be formed, and that will only form if price can break through this structure low here. So if we do get that, then we can start looking for short opportunities on the stock markets again. Okay, so remember that trend is really key. Our goal is to always, or our job is to find that trend. So look for those trending markets such as euro pound. Look to trade those markets at areas of support. Hope you enjoyed this Forex market outlook video with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. If you did, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more trading content. Thank you.